Welcome back to Marketing Corner Talks. I'm your host, Dave Keighron, and you're listening to our professional series, where we explore how marketing professionals and entrepreneurs are shaping the future of business through creativity, empathy, and applied learning. In this new format, we bring together industry experts and students in connecting real-world stories with the classroom insights. Today's guest is someone who embodies human-centered success. Lili Molavi is a Vancouver-based entrepreneur, business consultant, and coach with over 25 years of experience helping entrepreneurs, small, medium-sized enterprises, and global corporations achieve sustainable growth. She is the CEO of Molavi Consulting Group, a woman-influenced nominee for the RBC Canadian Women Entrepreneur Awards, and a champion for integrating wellness, creativity, and purpose into business strategy. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you today, Lili. Welcome to Marketing Corner Talks.
Hello, Dave. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited.
So, Lili, your story goes across multiple things, from structure to creativity to soul, corporate consulting, holistic wellness, entrepreneurship. It goes on and on and on. So how did your journey really start? How did you lead into this world of marketing and business strategy?
Very good question. I really began my career in technology and human resources, which I really, it gave me a real deep appreciation of how systems and people work and how they affect each other. I started to work with Fortune 500 companies such as Renault, the car manufacturing company, Shell, the oil and gas, Sanofi, Aventis, the French pharmaceutical, in HR and organizational development and leadership consulting. But when 3-4 years ago, I started to transform my previous business into the current business, which is a management consulting, I really began to understand how different aspects of marketing can help me in this industry, which is a professional services industry as a management consultant. Now I'm mentoring through the journey that I've started to do, mentoring lots of entrepreneurs or small business owners, including like board directors of non-for-profits, executives of growing companies in Canada and US. All of the different aspects of marketing that I learned throughout my career path as a software engineer in Canadian companies in Vancouver, or human resources consultant, as a professional services management consulting, it all came together and showed me the path of marketing, how it has been evolved from a traditional point of view of sales and marketing, where marketing used to be more of a push to sell something rather than communication and impacting not only your workforce internally, but your outside, no matter if it's a client, customer base, or partners. So there are different aspects. I'm very excited to speak about it today with you.
So going from working for organizations in these elements of technology and HR, and then transitioning to your own business, there's a transition that happened there. What do you take away from your past experiences that makes your consulting firm a success today?
Yes, it all began about my hero's journey 3-4 years ago, when I had like a huge trauma in my own personal life. I've been an entrepreneur for so many years, but having the ability to transform my business again back to my original career, which is a management consulting, it has been a huge success. So what happened to me is that 3-4 years ago, my sister passed away. I kind of, my internal world became upside down, family issues. And back then, as you remember, I was a guest in the previous podcast, owning 2 health food stores, 2 holistic health centers in North Vancouver and West Vancouver on the North Shore of beautiful BC, um, we experienced something that any business owner as a challenge can experience. So I had to have other colleagues taking care of the business and until I get well and going back to my business. And I decided to close down because I had to have some priorities in my life, taking care of the family. For 1 year, I started to do volunteering community work with very interesting young entrepreneurs. It started, so my business started to form again. So, I had the technology background, software engineering background, working with, different corporations. And then at some point in my life, I had 3 or 4 other businesses, in a wellness industry, in Canadian health food industry. So as yoga center and 2 other holistic health centers, working with 70 Canadian suppliers and distributors, more than 5,000 products on my shelves. I experienced from traditional marketing to digital marketing. I got my digital, marketing certificate, but I soon realized I need to close down my shops. So I closed down the retail space. And for a year, I did the volunteering. And I questioned myself. Now I would like to go back to the management consulting. What kind of marketing campaign should I design for myself as a marketer to go back to my original, career? Because for 10 years on the North Shore in Vancouver, I used to be known as not only the CEO founder of holistic health center called HealthWorks in Edgemont Village, Caulfield Village, and I had more than 3 to 5,000 client base and more than $500,000 of worth of revenue. You can imagine, people know you in the industry, going back and forth in CHFA conferences every year. I had to redefine myself again. So what I did, I contacted the best marketing company in Vancouver, and I told them, this is my story. How would I, communicate that? So they booked me for the photo shoot, a video shoot. And this was new all to me because in my previous past experiences, I had a traditional marketing, newsletters, writing educational, educational articles in newspaper and so forth. But this was new to me. So working with young, marketing people, and they taught me how to do the reels, how to shoot the video. I had a makeup artist working on me. And that story, I will talk about that story later, that day when I went into that beauty and health, salon to have my makeup done, the CEO and founder became one of my future clients through that journey.
Yeah.
But anyways, having this in a shorter story, I had the best campaign that is still getting attraction without me paying anything from 3-4 years ago, still on my Instagram. So organically, I'm not paying anything right now for SEO. I'm not doing any paid ad. That reel is pinned in my Instagram and is still getting attraction once in a while by itself organically. I knew what I wanted. The best team gave me the platform. I said, I want to show my background as a professional management consultant. This is my background. This is my health story. I've been a life coach and I want to combine the two. So they took the few scenes. These are your design. These are your, colors. And soon it became my color of the fonts, the color of my brand, the color of my logo. I designed my own like website, and yeah, so it's up there. It's very professional. They say one picture. Now I can say one video says 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So when the target market looks at that video, they see what I bring as a value as a professional consultant, as a person who has experience in many different aspects of business, whether it's marketing and branding. Like, I started to work for the past 2 years with entrepreneurs or startups who are writers, authors, filmmakers, musicians. And then after that, like, they nominated me for RBC Women of Influence Award. And, there I am.
So exciting. So when you're going on this journey, how, like, was we talk about management consulting, a lot of people have some ideas what management consultants, but what is really different about Molavi Consulting? What do you different? What is your secret sauce?
Um, I believe it's the reflection of who I am. So, uh, for every business, you need to make money. So there is a side that I do because I'm passionate in love with it. And that's the branding and the content creation for entrepreneurs. So mm, based on my experience of business planning, I write business plans for entrepreneurs, whether it's startup or growing business, consulting with executives. Mainly, the main part is marketing research, marketing strategy. What I've understood is the secret sauce is three elements that I implement with all of my clients, and is story, strategy, structure. With the entrepreneurs that I've been working more than 60 over the last 2 years, it's like 70 to 80% of them, they have similar common challenges. And that's, they have a brilliant story. They don't have the structure to communicate that. And also they don't have this the strategy. So they create reels, they have the social media marketing campaigns, but it's not based on a solid ground. Like, most of them, they either focus on one single social media, and I'm trying to teach them or educate that you have a target market. Each industry is different. You need to look at your industry, your career, your background, creativity, whether it's like music, film, or other kinds of entrepreneurship, like business owners, and find the proper social media campaigns. And the main centralized structure that I believe in is your website.
Mhm.
Not everybody has social media, but one centralized place that I truly believe is the foundation of my work with my clients in branding is that how well are you communicating to your target market about your hero journey? And that's the cornerstone of our success with our clients. We sit down, we, review all of their social media, including the website. We create the strategy based on what the market research shows that there are other people doing your services, there are other people doing your products. How are they differentiate themselves? How are they pricing their products or services? And how would you communicate who you are so that people, the consumer behavior is such that it's really based on your psychology.
Mhm.
They're attracted to your story based on the story that you're telling. They resonate with it. They say, oh, this is who I would like to work with or buy their products, buy their services because I resonate with their stories. and we will connect them to different marketing teams, different website developers, so that because I'm the main, you know, management consultant, but I have a lot of resources I can connect my clients to. Therefore, we have partnerships in our company, and that's the main, it's a community building rather than domination and getting the, a piece of the pie in the market.
So you truly help them to define their story, figure out how to align their culture, their communication, and their customer experience to initiate their business growth.
That's right.
So when it comes to this, because you've had some really cool campaigns. One in particular that comes to mind is your Corporate Wellness Week. Can you tell us about the Corporate Wellness Week? What was this campaign, and what did it do for you?
Yes, it's one of those projects that I'm very excited about, and I'm hoping to continue as a corporate wellness strategist because it has brought me back to my roots, where I used to be like the HR consultant and corporate facilitator for leadership, team building, stress management, and now I've seen, like, based on the trend that I'm following and my own experience with mental health, I started to do a lot of fundraising events in the community. And those became the basis of this project, to be believe it or not. It brought me to the place that I started to work with few people and started to give proposal to the big companies, the cybersecurity technology company. I used to be a software engineer, so I understand, the technology, workforce in the high tech industry. So I started to give them a proposal with some of our wellness practitioners, wellness partners in the community. We can design you, a week of mental health in October, and it went through. They liked the proposal because every aspect of it was defining. Actually, it was kind of between the HR and the corporate social responsibility, departments partnering together, communicating to the internal workforce who are the main clientele of a company. Is through marketing. You need to communicate to them that this is our goal, this is our vision. We love you, we take care of you, we want you to be healthy and well, and therefore reflect the better performance and less stress at workplace. So yeah, we worked 3 months with other wellness practitioners designing the proposal, and ran it for a week. Was a very highly engaging, few days at their offices, and they have more than 2,900, employees across Canada, and 14,000 across the
Wow.
globe, North America, Latin America, Europe. So, yeah, it was a big success for me, and it like the marketing campaign wasn't huge, and that's the biggest success for me. We didn't spend a lot of marketing, paid ads or anything. It was directly for my industry, which is a professional services, is based on relationships, based on credibility, based on word of mouth. Uh, and my last piece of maybe recommendation is based on human-centric marketing.
Mhm.
And that's what differentiates us from in the age of AI, where AI has evolved in a way that is, replacing all the social media marketers out there, because it's giving people the strategy in seconds,
Mm.
but it makes mistakes. ChatGPT, if you are not feeding it your backstory of who you are, where you're come from, what your vision is, what your goals are. It it just grabs data from outside world, put together something that it thinks it's good strategy for you. And young entrepreneurs or companies or non-for-profits that I'm working with, they make mistakes. They think that that's it. They copy and paste even for the grant, projects that I'm working with the executives or the board directors of not-for-profit organizations. Sometimes in grant writing, they're using it. It makes mistakes. So we need to be really careful of um, how we are using AI or the new technology. We are still humans. Uh, Community really is important. How we are impacting socially our community. Most of our services, like when I started 2-3 years ago to form again from a retail back into my own corporation as a management consultant, I started to do a lot of fundraising events. I became, friends with lots of non-for-profit organizations, and 20%, 80%. So 20% you do community work, you give back, you add value, whether it's education, whether it's a service, and then 80% of your sales and revenue comes from, uh, mm, the good relationship, credibility, the service that you're giving out.
Yeah, I love it because we talk about community and driving community, but driving passion around stuff like and number one, if nobody knows out there, Lily is a certified holistic nutritionist, a Zumba instructor, and a life coach. So there's a lot of synergy in your business model, and that bringing that into your consulting business. And it's really cool to see this element. So I want to go into the world of how do you integrate your wellness and mindfulness into your marketing leadership work?
It's holistic marketing, I
Yeah.
call. It's all about mind, body, soul, but it's the reflection of each entrepreneur, each business owner. Their health and wellness energy reflects in their business. I've experienced this. I've measured it on and on. I've had like 6 or 7 different businesses, and each time my energy is down, the revenues are down. Each time my creativity is down, I'm not thinking out of the box for great marketing, campaigns or, creative ideas that I can, bring in to my different revenue streams. We need to be shapeshifters. We need to transform, evolve with the flow of, what is happening out there. I go into different summits. I listen to BDC economic, trends. I follow all the economic, all the statistics, because most of our clients come from different backgrounds, different industries. So you need to be able to know what's going on holistically in a big vision and go into the details, do the research for that specific client, and give them the strategy. As the life coaching and mindfulness, how it incorporates is that I connect to the people energy. I don't know how, but I ask the right questions. I might not know all the answers as a management consulting. We are not supposed to say much. We need to ask the right questions. And those questions come from, strategy, experience, knowledge, but also following what's going on in the marketplace. I had a client, for example, I was helping them as a startup in Vancouver with, even team. The team came from Mexico, US, and Canada. So we had 3 months of live business planning that I love to do with some entrepreneurs, because they do not ask me to write the whole business plan. I asked them, each person, to help me to write it. And in that way, they understood exactly what the business model needs to be, how the market is. The marketing research showed, oh, they didn't know what the other, businesses similar to them they're doing. And once we sat down to the financials, which is my favorite part, because I help the non-for-profits get the funding from the government, either municipality or the provincial or federal. But for entrepreneurs, the financing part is the most important part, is the heart of the business. Do we know what are your costs and expenses? And usually they give $2,000 or whatever to a person to write the business plan. They don't either read it or implement it, and they say, okay, the business plan was wrong or whatever. But this example is an example of how holistic you can work with your clients and how they can become engaged in the process of solving the problems by us asking the right questions.
I love it. And this is a beautiful segue because one of the segues we do here, and one of my favorite things is to have students asking questions. And we're joined by one of our students today to bring some of these questions out and to ask Lili some of these questions. So today we are joined by Neha Kanareddy, who's been following your work here, Lili, and has prepared some thoughtful questions for you. Hi, Neha. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for having me. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
Okay, so throughout your conversation with Dave, I heard a bunch of things that I would love to ask you about. The first thing that stood out to me was you mentioned the phrase hero's journey twice. And that was really interesting for me because, like, as a writer, the hero's journey is a writing trope, right? It's a structure. So, like, do you view your life as a story, or like, please tell me a bit more about it? Why hero's journey?
Why hero's journey? It's one of those things that I haven't done it. I need to document my own and write it on my website, which I haven't. Usually marketers put themselves on the last on the list, but we help a lot of clients and we recommend it. So what is really important is for people to understand where you have come from. What is the turning point in your journey, in your career, that made you transform your life? Think about a new business idea. Uh, you know, Maybe you have had a personal challenge in your life and you found out the solution and now you're implementing. It's it's always a success is the key to the gate for getting more clients. And that's why it's my passion to help people document their hero's journey. And as a content writer, I sometimes, help them to write for their websites. And soon after a year or two, I've seen results after results. Either they got partnerships with district, they get more clients, they are represented professionally, and people get in touch with you as a human rather than AI generated content. So it's very important in an age of AI to be able to still hold that human centric marketing alive.
Really, what I notice is that, because you said you kind of connect with people, right? And then talking about like that holistic marketing, and you mentioned getting people to, again, their chart their hero's journey, define their story. It seems like a lot of the strategy is kind of self-reflection, kind of being a facilitator to get people to think internally and to really understand what you want from, again, either your life or your business. So, tell me a bit about that.
I can give you examples of maybe some non-for-profits. There are
Mhm.
so many of them. They have products or services that it's very important, essential even for today's communities challenges. And there are so many grants out there. As a grant writer, I'm helping some of the non-for-profits applying for grants. So understanding even from not even the entrepreneurs, perspective, but from a non-for-profit organization's perspective, they need to understand that the services, even the person behind the services has a story in a non-for-profit organizations. From time to time, even the boards that have come together, they have a common shared experience or knowledge or passion to follow. Therefore, they have come together, form a society. I've helped them registered or write the bylaws or, help them strategically thinking about their annual reports, what programs they have offered, and what the social impact is, and how they're planning for their next year and the budget planning. And the government looks at the grant applications and say, okay, are they aligned with what we need in the society? So that's a very important, aspect of people really get back to who they are and communicate that, whether it's an entrepreneur organization, for-profit or non-for-profit. I truly think that brands are made from stories. And whether you have the strategy and the structure to communicate that, and those are my passion, the pillars that I work on.
I also was on a youth board for a nonprofit for 2 years. So what I really observed was there was a lot of heart, but nonprofits really struggle with the execution, right? You want to
Yes.
do a lot all the time, but when you get down to the numbers or the business details, you kind of I don't know how do you kind of get your clients to understand that no, we still need to pay attention to numbers and think of this as a business strategically, even if it is something that is more beneficial to society as a whole.
It's the reminder of that story that keeps everybody together, and it shows everybody that it's not about us. When the numbers are low, the government is not funding you, or the strategy that we planned, it's not implementing. The teams are burned out. We don't get enough volunteers, experienced volunteers. So what do? We need to remind ourselves. I'm a board of sitting on the board of director of a non-for-profit as well myself. And as we're growing, I'm seeing if there is no processes or communications or the strategy to implement the right marketing of who we are, what we're doing, um, the measurement of our social impact, then it doesn't matter how many posts we are having, stories, videos, reels. We are not here to grab attention of how many increase the followers, for even for business, for-profit businesses, organizations, how many of those followers are turning into profit or sales? How many of those campaigns are clicked and turn into, are they giving back your money, your investment? How's your ROI? So keep returning, reminding, going back to the story. That story is the key, because it's the vision, it's the mission, and how are we communicating internally in our organizations or externally to our customers out there and partners.
I really love the thing about it's not about followers because vanity metrics, right? I had to take a moment to absorb what you were saying because of course you want your followers, you want those likes, but are they even in your city? Can they help you? No, that's
Exactly.
fantastic.
Exactly.
Uh, and then when you were talking about your businesses, the word holistic came up a lot. Is spirituality or being grounded important to you? Because you mentioned yoga too, so please talk a bit about that journey.
Absolutely. They are, again, my pillars. Every day I woke up with yoga, meditation, or dancing or music. So working like for the past 3-4 years after my personal challenges, creativity and art, music, dance have become my pillars. Like they have become my tools to make myself happy, make me grounded. And after the routine that I do, or, I do a lot of like Zumba fundraising events for Cancer Society, Lionsgate Hospital, Elizabeth Fry Foundation, women's shelters. They gave me hope that I can be effective somewhere in society and still earning money. This gives me a joyful moment in my business that not only I'm making money, but I'm, all of these people that I see in fundraising events, they eventually send me clients paid. So it's a circle. It's a full circle. We're humans. Like previously used to be like trade, right? We should be keeping that alive. Like I do something for you, you do something for me. The cost of living is so high now in Vancouver. Young entrepreneurs, startups have challenges to keep their businesses alive. The financing depends on how much, I work with different banks. I send them my clients, they send me clients back. Each time we go for getting a financing, it's, they look at you, at your background and all your experiences, but if you get all the money and you're not healthy, happy, it reflects on your, business. How are you going to stay on track and being focused in the society, in the era of many notifications, many phone calls, many texts, and WhatsApp groups, you name it. It's never ending story of like, communication is important, but these are distractions. How can we make ourselves grounded, calm, peaceful to focus on who we are and what we are here to do? And what's your passion as a young person or young entrepreneur? So it's really important.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic because like you mentioned, trying to like find yourself again, taking a break, and really focusing on family. Um, I guess when you're in the thick of being a professional, right? You have like in your 20s or in your 30s, you're like, I need to do everything and anything and build a life for myself. But how do we like not lose sight of things that are important and kind of because you did a lot, professional consultant, working, have your own business, work with corporations. That's a lot. How do you kind of make sure that you're still you?
Whenever I'm overwhelmed or burnt out, I take breaks. It has happened. So, from the time that I did my, software engineering. So I became a mom. So nature gave me a break. And then registered my own high-tech company. I worked for a few years, got my MBA, went into management consulting, HR, with big corporations, 500 Fortune companies. I got burned out. So I got a break. What I did, I opened up my own yoga studio. I did yoga for 2 years, yoga meditation for 2 years. Then I wasn't making money. I bought two health food stores as my, third, fourth companies. And in the 10 years of working in holistic health and wellness industry, I learned how to not only doing business, but also doing the proper marketing, from writing, blogs and educational materials, doing like one page, like $4,000, like advertisement marketing with like top 10 distributors on 20 products, to writing a book, right? But each time that I got stressed or overwhelmed, I got a break. I paused, I reflected, I got back to my origin passion. Why am I doing this? Where am I going with this? How can I evolve? How can I transform? These are the questions that I ask my clients. I ask myself too. I write journals, I try to keep myself grounded and get back to my soul, because there's like not many, life can be short. So we are here for a reason. Find that passion and, have a structure, get coaching. There are many brilliant, experts out there like Dave, like so many people I've known. So, yeah.
I guess what really strikes me is that you're not scared of like changing your trajectory. If you feel something's not working, you just change. Where do you get that? You feel confident in yourself that you can always land on your feet? Because for a lot of people, that's, nigh impossible.
When you need to take care of your family, you're a single mom, you need to, bring food to the table, you don't have any choice. You fall down, you get back on your feet, you get help. That's why mental health is very important to me. It's very close to my heart. Yeah, I've gone through it all myself. I'm helping, corporations with wellness and mental health and mental wellness. And the things that I choose are my passions. For example, dancing is like Zumba, dancing. I used to be a dancer from childhood, but that brings up the memory of my sister whom I lost a few years back. So it keeps me going. You need to find avenues, like you're a business person, you're a marketer, but things get tough. Challenges bring you down. You need to become like, resilient. One of the challenges in my industry as a management consultant is to balance the number of clients so that consistently I have revenue. But do I have the budget for marketing every month to pay for like paid ads and campaigns or like SEO on my website? No, I don't. So what I do, I find a way around it. I would love to have like young students, marketers on, interns, work on my marketing campaigns, because I need to spend, my challenge is that I'm not spending time on my own marketing campaigns. I'm out there, I'm out there working on projects, and some of these projects I'm getting they're seasonal because like there are grants, like they open up right now and I need to work on them. At the end of the year, you get back to the same clients reporting to the government. So in between, I need to find like entrepreneurs or other corporate clients, and each industry has their own challenges and needs. So we learn and grow.
Well, I'm sure Dave can help you like figure out how to get internships because there are so many like marketing students who want to like intern, right, with companies.
Amazing.
But
Amazing.
thank you so much for letting me
Thank you, Neha.
get look inside your brain for a bit. It was very, very interesting. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for your time and all your questions.
What brilliant conversation. And again, coming back to the hero's journey, coming back to be you and walk like you, talk like you elements is very clear that's coming across in this messaging, and balancing with wellness is important. It's been an inspiring conversation. Lili, how do we learn more about you? How do we learn more about what you're doing at Molavi Consulting Corp? What can we learn more? How can we connect with you?
So I do have my website, lilimolavi.com, and our services are listed there, but mainly I'm focusing on my social media through Instagram, which is Molavi_consulting, or my LinkedIn, which is Lili Molavi. So I will be happy to be in contact with entrepreneurs, not-for-profits, or any corporate, clients whom I can help in positive way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lili. And again, a special thank you to Neha, like bringing our students in for asking some of those real meaningful questions. Great questions, Neha. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, follow Marketing Corner Talks on our favorite podcast platforms and share it with your friends, colleagues, or people out there that can learn from these experiences. We're driven to support and help you find those elements. Until next time, keep learning, keep connecting, and keep leading with purpose.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a great
so much
day.
for having me. Have a nice day.